All right, guys, welcome back. Chief Kirk for Cardiology. So one of the things we're working on in class this week, and one of the things I like to work on with people once they get comfortable with problem guys, is the control position. And one of the things you can't really do with your partner unless you're communicating with them, and still they forget, is ask them to, at the end of your technique, to collapse or to otherwise act like they're out of the fight. And the reason you want this to happen is if you're making self-defense and in your training, and you just stop making your self-defense in control position and release your partner, you can create what we call a training scar. In other words, you can train yourself to let go when your actual attacker may still have more fight in them, right? So if you're in a situation where your partner continues to forget to give you a signal that you're done fighting, and you want to avoid the training scar, your only option really in control is to do what we call a finishing combative. We often do what we call a finishing knee. We can also do what we call a finishing elbow. And what we're going to do this week and next week is a two-part series. This is part one. And it's going to be pretty quick. I'm just going to show you how to make a finishing elbow out of what might feel like a convoluted position of control. So I'm going to bring James in. And oftentimes when we're in a position where we defended low, we end up right here, right? So we're in this position, right? But we're in this position here. But in this position, right, come back this way a little bit. Oh, boom, there we go. There we go. In this position, if he doesn't have a weapon in his hand, when I do this, he can just slide his hand out. He can slide his hand out because his hand isn't as wide as his wrist, right? So if I become convinced that I need to do something different there because I've defended low and I've got in the elbow cradle, what I'll do is I'll contact the elbow and roll it up. There's a bone back here. And what I do is I put my thumb there and I collect it in. No more than this. If I get real deep, I can get in trouble, right? So right here, and I'm in this position. I still have head control in this position. I can still make knees, right? But if I decide I want to make a finishing elbow, what I'll do is I'll pull him in close, and the control hand, which is the hand that controls the head controls the body, will slide down past his elbow here very quickly. I'll show you in a second. And it drives the arm out away, and this elbow comes through and makes this contact here. And we can step very deep. We can actually walk through or run through that elbow. In other words, leave. But for our purposes, what I want to show you is, as I get to this position, I pull it this way. The motion is very quick. So all I'm trying to do from this position is get to that position. If I'm to be still there, I can throw another elbow, or I can walk away. But the point is this: you can't simply decide to throw your offside elbow by letting this hand go and throw that elbow, because this hand is free, it has access to you, it's too close. If there is a weapon, it's obviously a problem, right? If there's a weapon, and for some reason I need to leave, look, the context can be convoluted or very complex. So if I can't take the weapon for whatever reason I need to leave, relax, I'm just in here. I can still slide down and make this elbow and go. The takeaway, though, for today is for you to understand that in each control position, there's a method for you to make what we would call a finishing combative, whether it's a finishing elbow or a finishing knee. Generally speaking, those are always knees to the head, to the horseshoe, or elbows to the horseshoe, one or the other. The other thing that a finishing elbow or a finishing combative does for you is it gives you a path out. And the reasons you might have to do this are varied in many. You can come up with 10 on your own. Somebody asked me, what's one reason? I said, well, there's multiple attackers, you're in control of one, and someone just grabbed your kid, right? I don't have time to knock him down, so I'm just going to try to get to my child as fast as I can by sliding out, making a big elbow, and sprinting to where I need to be next. With the hope and the high probability that a good finishing elbow or a good finishing knee, depending on where you are and what you're doing, is something that will at least take them out of the fight. That's a prioritization thing. At the end of the day, the skill set is this: when I'm in control, how do I throw an elbow out of control, and how do I make that elbow a finishing elbow to avoid training scars associated with just letting go of someone in control when I'm finishing without them falling down, or me deciding to somehow try to make a finishing elbow or a finishing combative. So that's the issue. As always, at the bottom of the page, past the video, there's a box for comments or questions. Please send them. We're always happy to address those. And as always, walk in.